Welcome to my little corner of the internet. I like to call this one Why. And I want to know one simple question. Why feminism? I'm looking at all the videos here by Baron, Alpha Omega Sin. I look at videos like Mundane Matt, although I don't agree with some of his policies. I'm looking at a lot of different people. This Steve Crowler or whatever, this comedian guy, basically has a very large following on YouTube. And I'm wondering, okay, they're pointing out all the wrongs about feminism, but here's the question I ask: why are feminists such a problem? Well, for one, I can tell you they want the freedom of speech laws repealed. For the love of God, the very thing that lets them go in crazed rants, the one that lets them preach. I'm not kidding here. Preach at places where they want to scream and shout their vile hatred. It's protected because of the First Amendment. Get rid of that, and let's say right-wing extremists get into the White House. And no, I don't think Trump, Cruz, or Kasich are extremists. Clinton and Bernie Sanders, I think, are extremists. But anyway, back to the point at hand. Say a right-wing extremist gets in and decides to shut down them. Well, because there's no freedom of speech, they don't have the right to say what they want and can be arrested for inciting violence or whatnot. Ironically enough, they want laws on the books that basically state that you basically saying this or that is inciting violence. Calling into question someone's view by showing evidence and such is not inciting violence. If anything, it's just showing that you are wrong. And these people seem to hate to be wrong. They hate being called wrong, and they basically try to drown you out. I wonder how long this will take before my video gets hit with a copyright strike from some feminist group. But this is why I'm not a fan of feminism. They want anti-First Amendment, anti-Second Amendment, and in some cases, Fourth Amendment. The search and seizure clause. Was it that the Fifth Amendment? I need to look that up. But anyway, they want to repeal all these so that they can basically force you to be the way they want you to be. And that scares me. Why are these people so much like a communist? Why do these people support Bernie Sanders? I mean, they are so... Socialism, as Lenin said, socialism is important to lead because it leads to communism. And we all saw what happened with communism with Soviet Russia, those of us who remember. I remember seeing the fall of the Berlin Wall. I remember seeing the video images of those long lines in Russia for simple things like toilet paper and basic food amenities, for salt and milk and other things. And that they couldn't keep it in stock. Whereas here, capitalism did a wonderful job of keeping things in stock. And yet these feminists want these socialist ideals, and they want to force it on us, and then they also want to put down everything. It's just amazingly scary. They want to force their idealism. The last time I think a people wanted to force idealism and took it to an extreme was the Nazi Party. I'm not kidding here. I'm considering all feminists to be Nazis, and they were called Nazis to begin with back in the 80s, if I remember. I mean, how... And now they're showing themselves to be so authoritarian, so down your throat, that they're being rejected for what they are. I mean, it's like, here's the deal. I see the feminists taking over Democratic Party. I see them taking over because they're so far to the left that they've literally become how should I put it? They're literally becoming like dictators. I think Mark Levin had it right. Democracy or something like that. It's like a political spectrum. It's not a line from one end to another. It's a circle, a ring. And we in the center and right of center, even maybe left of center, are the moderates. And everyone at the far end of the extreme of the spectrum are in the same boat. They're just extremists that want power over us. Nazism, communism. Before World War II actually took off, communists and Nazis basically got along. It was the Nazis that backstabbed the communists, and don't know why. I mean, they shared similar ideals. Look at Hitler. I mean, he was as left-wing as you get. He wanted these big social programs. He wanted all this stuff. And I can link to the show. I can show links to it. In fact, I will put links to that about why I think everyone gets Hitler wrong. He wasn't right-wing. He was left-wing. But that's beside the point. Or is it? But anyway, all I see is with these leftist, feminist psychos is that they want more control for the government. They want more control over our lives. They want these safe spaces where we can't speak. I mean, look at all the college campuses. Look at all the comedians who say don't do colleges because you can't get anything funny past their PC culture. And that scares me. Nothing is funny to them. Everything is racist. In fact, Anita Sarkeesian said it best. Everything is racist. Everything is sexist. Everything's big, and you got to point it out. Yeah, in your eyes, lady, everything is that way because you wanted it to be that way. And I'm just thinking, why? Why are these people doing this? And then the only thing I can come up with is they're doing it for power. There is no other way to explain it. They're doing it for the sake of power. They're doing it for the sake of... They're doing it for the sake of just forcing this issue on everything, on everyone. I mean, come on. And they can't think of any... And the problems. The triggering. Saying this is sexist. Like a video game, like in the Overwatch game, there was a character called Tracer who, over the shoulder look, had a pose that showed off her butt, and everyone got butt hurt, at least the feminists did, over it, saying it's sexist, it's not in her character. She flaunts herself very much, and she does it with a bit of sex appeal. Of course it's in her character. But guess what? It looked like Blizzard kowtowed to it. Instead, they made this pose worse by giving her pinup girl from the 1940s, 50s. Something you'd see on one of those air bombers from World War II. With her legs sticking up and you can still see her butt. I think that was a giant middle finger by Blizzard because they got sick of it. And good on them for doing that. I mean, sure. Okay, you want to change? Here, let's change it to something worse. Which, I might add, is more tasteful and still a giant middle finger to the feminists, and I applaud Blizzard for that. If you ask me, the booty has been saved. But, like I said, these people, they're complaining about things like a fictional character when they should be worrying about things like how women are treated in Islam or how children are put into prostitution in third world countries, especially with Islam, how they rape boys. Look at the ISIS people. They're forcing these boys into prostitution, little kids, if they're not executed. They should be worrying about that sort of thing. And look at all the Syrian refugees. ISIS said, and in public no less, on the internet, on their official forums, that they will infiltrate these groups. And yet these feminists want them here because it's PC. If you can't tell who is who, the best thing you can do is not let them in. We could put them in another Islamic country that will take them and not treat them bad and let let's be honest about it. If you can't tell who's who, and someone, at least one of them, is a terrorist, they just need to be right once. Once. That's all it needs to be. And then boom. Look what happened to San Bernardino. That. And then they're calling that gun violence and not an act of terrorism. And that brings me to another thing that feminists want. They want to take away the guns. How are we supposed to defend ourselves then? I think the First Amendment was put into the Constitution to prevent the government from being turned into a totalitarian state. Because if the people can rise up against the government, and it's in the Constitution, the government can be overthrown if it becomes too corrupt. And I think now is the test. 2016 is that test. Let's be honest here. The feminists, half of them seem to want Hillary Clinton. The other half want Bernie Sanders. But here's the deal. Both are a bad thing. Bernie Sanders being a socialist. I don't know why people would want a socialist. I mean, all the socialism does is take away from everyone else and then give to those who can't earn. It's just sad. And Hillary Clinton needs to be put in jail considering that she is one of the biggest criminals out there. I mean, forget Benghazi. All right, I get it. She was responsible for that, but she and Obama caused that. But that's a political rant for another day. What I'm talking about is feminism. And the ones that are supporting her, they do know about the fact that she has intimidated and violently attacked, even if it through third parties, women who have accused her husband of assault and rape, or at least would have, and those that have come out, but are too scared. Why are they supporting these people? But that's it for that little rant. I'll let you decide because I don't know why. They're supporting these ideals. They're forcing their ideals on everyone. And it scares me. I really, really don't want to see this. Because why? Why are they doing this? Other than for power. Other than for control. I look at these... But then when I look at them, and I look at them real well, these feminists only show one thing to me. They're petulant little children at best. They are crying for attention. They are begging for attention, but they're not getting it. They're absolutely out of their minds with demanding of things. If you ask me, their heads are full of poison. And that poison is left-wing feminist, third-wave feminist, whatever it is. It's all the same to me. I'm still going to do my Let's Plays and such, people, but every so often I have to get this off my chest. And I will be doing these videos more often on top of my Let's Plays. But this is just something I need to get out of the way. So thank you for coming, and thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and if you want to see this channel improve better, you can go to my donation links, and you can also follow me on social media for updates. And I have to say, God bless every last one of you for showing up. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.